Good afternoon. It's week 8 of the Automotive Internet program. Thanks, everyone, for joining us for week 8 as we talk about mobile websites, mobile marketing strategies, mobile roadblocks. Um, Before I jump in, take a note that we should connect on LinkedIn. So take a moment to send out a connection request. And also just keep my email on file if you ever have any questions on the material that we talk about today. Before I jump into what I want to cover, I'd love for you to suggest some questions. In it, and here's how I'll phrase it. If there's something about mobile marketing, mobile websites, mobile engagement that you are looking to get answered, what would that question be? Go ahead, just put that in the question box. I'll read out loud some of the questions. I want to make sure that you get the absolute most out of today's hour together because it is a very dynamic topic, a changing topic, and I want to make sure that you will get all your questions answered. Also want to encourage you to check out a book on Amazon.com. Tracy Myers and myself put together a group of industry leaders. We put together 15 others, top industry experts. And if you are taking this internet training course, obviously you're interested in a holistic view of how to attack opportunities for your dealership. These 17 chapters cover everything from social to mobile to merchandising, SEO, SEM, advertising, direct mail. This is a great book for your whole dealership, and there's at least one good-looking man on the cover. So let's go through some of the questions here that have been submitted. James was saying, mobile landing pages, how do we do it? Great question, James. I will be covering that. I'm just going to make a note there. Mobile landing pages. We'll talk about that in a minute. Nicole asked a question. Nicole J says, is QR codes a good idea to get on business cards and around their dealership? So let's definitely talk about QR codes. Nicole S, mobile website versus dealership app on either Android and Apple Store. Definitely we're going to be talking about dealer websites versus an app. Definitely. James asked another question. Will there be a third type of website soon for tablets as they are in between? Oh, James, great question. And we are going to address that today as well. One of the advantages of PCG involved in the internet, automotive internet program hosted by First Class Educators is we give out the Automotive Website Awards each year. And so we see all the top website platforms. I was just up in Vermont last week looking at the latest things from dealer.com and what they're going to be showing at NADA. Just completely blew me away. We'll definitely talk about this changing environment, and we have a bird's eye view of all that. Nick asked a question. You should all look up responsive design. No mobile site is needed. Nick, excellent point. We're going to talk about that specifically today. Nick, do you have a responsive design site? And if so, which platform vendor are you using? And if everyone would now just tell me what is your primary website platform you're using. So just go ahead and type in if it's Vin or DDC for dealer.com or Cobalt or DealerFire, Dealer eProcess, whatever your current website provider is. Let me see what we got. So we have Vin, we have Cobalt, we have ClickMotive, we got Cobalt. So 2 Cobalts, a Vin, a ClickMotive. All right, Nick says we're a design agency. We develop responsive sites. We tend to build in WordPress. Excellent, Nick. We're glad that you're here as part of this educational experience. I'll give you the latest update on what we're seeing. Okay, seeing dealer.com. Okay, super. Vin, good. All right, cool. We got Dominion, Nicole Dominion, great. And Nicole, are you using the new Dominion Chameleon sites, the responsive sites? And if you are, just give me your URL, and we'll demonstrate the responsive nature of the Dominion product. If you want to give us your website address, great. And I just wanted to confirm that everyone can see my screen. If you could just say, yeah, I can see the screen fine, that's just perfect. You never know how technology is nowadays. Great. Super. So here's what we're going to be covering today: mobile trends, traffic and analytics, website architecture. So we'll talk about this: mobile website versus app, responsive, adaptive, mapped sites. We're going to talk about mobile advertising strategies. We're going to talk about location-based marketing, and then we'll have some answers to Q&A. And so when we talk about landing pages, when we talk about dedicated website versus apps, it's already in there. And of course, we'll talk about QR codes as well. Great. So Nicole's site is bountifulmazda.com, bountifulmazda.com. And if that is responsive adaptive, we'll check that out today. So let's go through some stats from Google. The reason why mobile is such an important strategy is today we see about 20% of visits to the dealer website are coming from mobile, and that varies, by the way, depending on what area of the country, domestic, highline, import. If anybody knows the percentage of website traffic that comes from mobile devices to your main website, that'd be an interesting stat to know. Obviously, most people don't think about this, but you can have a separate analytics account for your mobile website. And of course, if you had an adaptive responsive site, and we'll define that in a minute, obviously it's one site. But Jason says about 30% of his website traffic is coming from mobile. Google says that by the end of this year, 40% of automotive queries will come from a mobile device. Obviously, laptop, tablet, mobile devices. So when we talk about automotive queries, that's the searches that they see in the search engines that don't necessarily mean that 40% of traffic at the end of this year will be mobile. Remember, people are searching and ending up on AutoTrader, Cars.com, Edmunds, and such. And I was just down in Atlanta with the AutoTrader, team, and yeah, I think around this 30% number of traffic, coming into their portal. I was in Chicago recently, Cars.com. It's not up to 40%, but surely a big number. And these were some of the stats recently provided at a joint workshop we did with Google about what people are doing on their mobile device. So I would assume that everyone on this class today is diligent and interested in getting some new ideas for mobile, not whether mobile's important, but basically embracing it. This I thought, was a great slide because very few people in the automotive industry are doing anything with this slide. And this slide is saying, desktop usage going down at night and tablet usage is soaring. Does anybody want to explain to me what is happening? I mean, I know the answer, but what do you think? Why is the tablet device exploding at night? Okay. James says desktops equal workday. People are on their tablet in bed. People reading in bed. People are home from work. Tablet equals home, James says. Okay. I use my phone more at night because it's easy. Great responses from everyone. One of the things that we do know is that people are watching TV with their tablet in their lap. Does anybody do that? Does anybody watch a television show? They're calling it the second screen. Some TV shows, James says, I do. Michael says, yes, he does. Um, so basically, the second screen, television shows now are creating kind of simulcast events. So let's just say you're watching Gossip Girl, and there's a certain article of clothing or a hat or coat or something that's on the show, that the mobile app for that show would allow you to buy that product. Very, very interesting thought process that the networks are trying to leverage this second screen. James says, watch ESP app while my wife watches garbage. Excellent. So maybe she's watching that like hoarder show with the people whose houses are filled with garbage. Maybe it's not that literal, James. But know this, if you're trying to sell more cars to people who are online, and you know that tablet usage spikes at night, wouldn't it be cool if you sat down with your ad agency or your digital agency and say, hey, from the eras of 6 to 9, I want to increase my spending just to people on tablets. And what type of advertising would you recommend to the agency? Think about that. You go to your agency and your dealer and say, wow, we're missing the boat. There's this big spike of tablet usage at night from 6 to 10. We can target only tablet users in Google AdWords. What would we want to send those people? What's the best media form advertising should come in from those hours of 6 to 10 if we really wanted to leverage this mobile device trend? Any suggestions there from our class? It's crickets, crickets, crickets. Okay, well, the answer is video. If we can realize that people who are sitting on their couch, the tablet isn't a big typing device. If they're watching Hulu, if they're watching ESPN, if they're watching CNN, whatever they're doing on their lap, video is an extremely effective way to reach them. Would you agree to me then? It may be a worthy test for you to come up with some video pre-roll or some YouTube targeted video in those hours of 6 to 10 and target people that are on a tablet. Does that make sense to you as a strategy to come away from today is, hey, what are we doing to target this huge burst of eyeballs? The eyeballs are on the tablets at night. We want to attack them with mobile video advertising. And of course, display advertising and retargeting, of course, goes along with that. But remember, the whole retargeting thing is a little more difficult on the mobile devices. So this is why the video is so perfect of a strategy at night. The other thing I wanted to share with you, which is an overall thing, not necessarily mobile, about how people are shopping today. This is some recent study, and it's going to blow your mind. It blew my mind away a little bit, but it makes sense. So 63% of shoppers start with a brand in mind, okay? They start with a brand in mind. They were like, okay, I'm going to go look at the Range Rover. I'm going to look at a Ford. But what has happened is, and the 25% went to, say, AutoTrader, Cars.com first, and 12% said, I'm just looking for an SUV. I'm open to anything. But this was the crazy thing. Look at that. Only 20% of the people who started with a specific brand ended up buying that brand, which means, ladies and gentlemen, today's car shopper is less loyal to a specific brand. Obviously, younger people are even more less loyal, and maybe people later in life are maybe settle in on a brand, possibly, but it's no longer the majority, which means that your dealership, if 20, 30, growing to 40% of consumer automotive searches are done on mobile devices. And number two, if consumers are less loyal, then if we have a very effective mobile strategy that educates consumers why our brand is better, we can really conquest people much easier because they're less loyal. Does that make sense? Our mobile strategy has to be strong. We need to be there. It's a lot of eyeballs. But secondly, let's not look at just our market share. Let's look at conquesting. So if I'm a Toyota dealer, this research is telling me I can conquest Honda, I can conquest Hyundai, I can conquest Ford and Chevrolet. I just have to make a compelling message and get in front of their eyeballs during the zero moment of truth when they're making their purchasing research and decision. Does that make sense? We want to understand that if people are less loyal, we need to educate them on why to choose our brand because the OEM may not do a good job of making that clear to the consumer. So it's up to you in your mobile strategy to make the compelling case why they should buy your brand. And if anyone in your dealership is wavering on a commitment to increase mobile spending, develop a mobile strategy, take a look at what people are doing on their mobile devices, especially, listen to me, especially the people who are younger, and younger is more, of course, leverage to mobile. Take a look at that. If somebody is in the market looking for four or more brands, 48% are reviewing model specific information on a mobile device. 43% check prices at other dealers. Have any of you heard or seen someone coming in your dealership or on your lot and using their mobile device to compare prices of a vehicle that they see in the showroom or on the lot with another local dealer? Are any of you involved at that level or have heard that it's happening at your dealership? Chad says, yep, it's happening 100% of the time for people who are very active mobile shoppers. So, people who are using their mobile device, I mean, listen, I did it the other day. I don't know if you've heard this, but one of Best Buy's biggest problems is people are coming in the store to touch and feel a TV, touch and feel a piece of electronics, and then what are they doing while they're in the store? What's the problem with Best Buy? They Nick says shopping on Amazon. Absolutely, absolutely. Um, and Jason was saying we get calls from them on their smartphone when they're on our lot and haven't been helped yet. They see the web address on the stickers. It's true. So if anyone is saying that in the automotive industry, usage of mobile devices to do things that sell more cars is just in the dark. Meaning, mobile users are active buyers. This is not kick the tires. Well, those young kids who use those mobile devices to look up cars, well, they're just kicking the tires. Well, that's not what's happening, and we need to make sure our dealership has a strong strategy. One of the ways to know if your mobile marketing strategy is working is Google Analytics. Let me just get a poll from everyone's online. Just a simple answer, yes or no. Have you been in Google Analytics in the last 30 days? Have you been in Google Analytics in the last 30 days? Nicole S. says yes. James says yes. Jason, every day. Nice. Nicole J. says yes. Great. We have some crickets. Michael said yes. Great, great. Other people, I think, are afraid to answer that question. You need to live inside Google Analytics. We're going to jump into a Google Analytics account live here 1 second. Basically, when you log into Google Analytics, and you can use the Chad says, "Oh yeah." When you go into Google Analytics, you have your. This is the what I call the standard reporting or traditional reporting. The new dashboards can be custom configured to display things just the way you would like them. Bottom line is the mobile click on the left will show you what's going on. For example, this dealer had 5,000 total visits. But if we wanted to really take a look at the mobile, we would click in and see that this, 20% about of the data, um, maybe it's 18% in this case, 18% of the visitors were mobile. And you'll notice that these mobile visitors are staying on site for approximately the same amount of time. They are viewing approximately the same number of pages. And interesting, in this particular dealer, 5% more new visitors came through compared to the non-mobile. So mobile is defined as a mobile device and tablet. And so why is this important? If you're going to be brave enough to look in your AdWords strategy, your mobile social strategy, and you're going to move some funds to connect with consumers in the zero moment of truth when they're on their mobile devices, well, then we should be seeing this percentage of traffic increase, meaning we should see the trend of mobile traffic jump if we're going to throw in a mobile marketing campaign. And I will tell you that is one of the takeaways from today. That we really need to start looking, how do we get more mobile shoppers into our dealership, and what is their experience like? One of the other things which is unique, and we'll be talking about DMSC conference and NADA, but we're going to be unveiling some new tools to help dealers understand the quality of their traffic. And in this particular thing, and I will show you how to do it today, that you can create a metric called in-market shopping activity. So would we agree, you could just say yes or no, do you agree with me? The more vehicle detail page views that consumers do on our website, the more cars we sell. The more vehicle detail pages, those product pages for a particular vehicle, the more people that look at our VDPs, the more cars we sell. Nick says yes. How about some other opinions? Increase VDPs, we increase sales. James, Nicole, yeah. So wouldn't it be cool to separate the bullshit from the real traffic? Meaning people who come to our website and don't look at a single car, okay? If somebody comes to our website and doesn't look at a car, would you agree with me? It's hard to qualify whether or not they're here to buy. They may be just coming for a phone number. Maybe they came to the website for service. But if you were the general sales manager and you wanted to sell more cars, would you agree to me that if we were able just to isolate the VDP views, very simply, I would want to see that trending higher. I would want to see that the in-market shopping activity defined by VDP views, say credit application submitted, lead form submitted, that in-market shopping activity, we should see that activity rise. If that activity is rising, that means we have some really good qualified traffic. If we're spending a lot more money and the in-market shopping activity doesn't rise, would you agree with me that we would be just getting a lot of tire kickers? Let me say that again. If my marketing budget is going up digitally, and my in-market shopping activity is staying the same, would you agree with me that we're attracting the wrong people? Yeah. Okay. So wouldn't it be cool to go into your analytics and set up a filter like I did here, dealer.com, that's DDC, in-market shopping activity, and notice what came up from this, very simply, that the mobile traffic and the desktop traffic, here's the number, 35% and 37%. So let's call it average, 36%. Only 36% of the visitors to the website were looking at vehicles. That's a low number for this dealer. So would you agree with me that people who came to this site, look at it, the desktop people looked at 11 VDPs, 11 pages, the mobile people less, 9, but man, if only a third of our traffic is looking at vehicles, could we agree that maybe we're not driving the right people to our website? Meaning, if I tell you clients of mine that I'm working with that are very tuned in with their digital strategy are seeing 50% and more of their visitor traffic focusing on VDPs. That's really, really important to look at. So we're going to jump in to a live demonstration right now. And I want to thank Dahl Ford for allowing us to use their analytics. And here we go. Can everyone see the analytics screen? And I'm going to try to pump up the resolution limit. Can everyone see the analytics screen now? Great, great. Okay, so let's take a look at some cool stuff. And I may need to show you the in-market shopping activity on another site. I don't know if I have done this for a Dominion. Oh, what Dahl Ford? Oh, it's a VIN Solutions. Oh, it should work. Great. So let me show you. So if we look at our mobile here, here's our overview. Okay, so all in agreement. We have 1,693 visitors versus, let's just say, 7,000 to 17,000. So this is about 20%, right? If you take the total visits, 8,596, multiply by 20%, that's around 1,600. We're all in agreement that this store, Dahl Ford, is getting about 20% of their traffic from mobile devices. Okay, so that is very, very good. That's right in line with the average. In this particular case, the mobile visitors are not higher. Okay, more new traffic is generated from the desktop, and so whoever's responsible for this Dahl Ford, identify yourself so I can ask you a question. Who's working with Dahl Ford today? Give me an I am. I am. Hi, Nicole. All right, so Nicole S says she is. Nicole, do you know if the dealership has a aggressive mobile advertising strategy or not? Meaning I'm seeing more new visitors coming, 10% more visitors coming from desktop. So do you know if their mobile advertising strategy, is a focus or not? Okay. I'll wait for Nicole to be able to answer that. Um, so let's look at her website because this is kind of a cool thing. And if I'm correct, this is dahlford.com. Okay, Nicole says, we are currently in the process of adding mobile ads as well as more emphasis on the mobile site. Okay, great. So this is a VIN Solutions website. Now, if Nicole, would you agree with me that going into analytics and easily seeing the trend of in-market shopping activity would be a good thing to review with your dealer principal and general manager? If you agree with me, let's figure out how to do that. So one of the things on VIN sites, if I go ahead and look at a car, can everyone see up here in the URL that every vehicle detail page has a /VD in it? It's right here. And that may be a little small. I'm going to see, well, I can't do too much on the URL bar. But on VIN Solution sites, every page that has a vehicle detail page is /VD. So whether it's new or used or certified, okay, so let's go to new vehicles, new cars. Let's just do Ford cars. Here we go. If I pick a new car, same thing, it has /VD in it, in the URL. Does everyone see what I'm talking about up here? Just give me a yes or no so we are all clear. So if I wanted to see the trend of traffic, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go into her traffic. Here it is in the last 30 days. And I'm going to go to Advanced Segments. I'm going to click on New Custom Segment. Okay, and I'm going to go VIN solutions in market shopping activity. Okay. And I'm going to say include anything that has a page that contains /VD/. So any page, and the only pages that have /VD/ are the vehicle detail pages. Bingo! What we just did is separate the wheat from the chaff. Does anybody know where that reference comes from? Separate the wheat from the chaff. Anybody hear that? Separate the wheat from the chaff. Oh, okay, Jason, where did you? Oh, biblical. There we go, Jason. Good. We have some good Christian men on the call here. So what we're just doing is saying, I don't care how much traffic I get to my website. I can't necessarily control or know that, but I need to sell more cars. I'm going to sell more cars by getting more eyeballs on the vehicle detail pages. So my photography and my merchandising all is worked out properly. So as a result, we can see, and let's go to on a weekly basis. Here's a weekly trend. And let's take a bigger time period for, let's go to September. And let's go to December 1st, just like that. Apply. Okay. So in general, for this dealership, October kind of hit a high of in-market shopping activity on a weekly basis, about 1,000. Let me see, 900. Just okay. But in recent months, November going into December, we have not increased eyeballs. So one of the concerns I have, obviously, here for Nicole S. is, Nicole, what this is showing me that the behavior that sells more cars actually going down for your dealership, and this is where marketing strategy comes up. And again, we can, once we put on this filter, we can go to the mobile sites, okay, and take a look at that nice number. Okay, so if we're looking at mobile visits, okay, mobile has been, well, pretty damn consistent. A little spike here in October. Mobile's been pretty consistent. Yeah, a little drop here, but your mobile activity, 11.55 pages. So the people that are coming from mobile, when they're motivated in the right way to look at inventory, are doing a nice job. So what we want to do is we want to go back to normal. We can just click the X here and undo our filter. Okay, so there's our total number of visits. So watch what I'm going to do. So it was, let's just call this down here 5,496. Let's call 5,500 people came from mobile device during this time period. I can now apply my segment. So remember 5,500. I just click this, boom, and apply. Click the apply button. So 5,500 down to 2,500. So about half, about 50%, maybe 47% of our mobile traffic is looking at vehicles. That's really important. That's high. That's great. Okay, so we want to make sure that we're looking at the traffic sources. And then here's the cool thing. Once this filter is on, I could look at all my traffic and take a look at, this is the Google organic that looked at cars, the direct that looked at cars. Okay, Facebook, the people that came from Facebook, look at that, only looked at 3.49 cars. So really not possibly very qualified traffic at all. The people that came from ask.com were very qualified. Look at that, 12 VDPs. So you can start to look at each of your referral sources and see how aligned with your sales goals they are. But overall, I would say that the marketing team, Nicole, needs to understand that the trend of traffic on their website is going down. So we could really use a better dollar spend on bringing people in to the website who are ready to purchase a car. So do we understand importance of looking at mobile traffic and then that we create a rule to show in-market shopping activity for your own website. So for dealer.com, it's very simple. For Cobalt, very simple. Vin Solutions, very simple. To create these rules, you just have to take a look at the pattern of the URL, and it works quite nicely. Any questions on in-market shopping activity and looking at mobile traffic for your website? Now, the other thing to keep in mind is that there can be separate analytics for the mobile site itself. Remember, what this is showing you is the traffic that came to that URL from a mobile device. And depending on what how your marketing vendors are set up, you could have a separate analytics set up for your mobile site, and you just have to ask your vendor if they've set up a mobile analytics site as well. Okay, let's get back to the now let's talk about the website architecture. Very common today, most people have two separate sites. So the people that are on this call, every single one of you except for the Bountiful Mazda, right now you have two websites. And so we're going to talk about that. Dominion Dealer Solution is the first major player. I know we have an agency as part of the class today that's doing WordPress adaptive. So when I'm talking about a major player, that's one with integrated searchable inventory, all the bells and whistles that you would expect. And Dominion was the first to come out with their chameleon sites, and then fully mapped sites. Dealer eProcess has a 1-to-1 ratio, so every page that's on their desktop site is on their mobile site, which avoids the landing page problem that was brought up. One of the biggest problems today is, since we have two separate sites with two different technologies, it creates a broken user experience. So what do I mean by that? Here's an example. And if you've never thought about it, just say, hey, Brian, gee, never thought about that. You can put that in a question. If you send out an email to a customer that has a link to a page on your website, it could be a special event, and they are reading that email on their mobile device and click on that link, it will break. And if you're using, like I just picked Hagen Durant from Classic Chevrolet as a friend of mine, I went to their Facebook site, and here's what they're doing. Think about this. They're looking for people to work at the dealership. And I go ahead and click on that link. What do you think happened when I clicked on that link? Anybody want to tell me? James Klaus says, homepage. James, you have to be a little bit more clear. What happened when I clicked on that link from my iPhone? Okay, Nicole says error. Let's take a look. Exactly what happened. So here's a screenshot, and Jason and James was right. Homepage. It's just they blew me to the homepage of the mobile site. So here I am. The dealer is engaging in social media. Can you agree that maybe 30 to 40% of Facebook users are accessing Facebook from their mobile device? I mean, would you agree? Do you primarily access Facebook from your mobile device or your desktop? Would you guys answer that? Nicole says, yeah, mobile. I assume that means yeah. Jason says iPhone is his probably. Nicole J, yep, mobile. Michael, mobile. So think about this. James says tablet. Great, James. So we are telling dealers you have to have a mobile strategy, but we're not telling them, hey, our social strategy is getting so screwed up because here's classic. I'm reading the Facebook post, and when I click on it, it slams me to the homepage of the mobile site. The reason that this is the case is because without having an adaptive responsive site, without having dual mapped exact pages, what happens is they go to this is a Cobalt site, by the way. So Cobalt sees the visitor and says, oh, they're coming from a mobile device. Switch them to the mobile website. And the mobile website gets that, and they try to find the page/application, which of course was created in the desktop site. And since it's not on the mobile site, Cobalt says, oh, that page is not there, just slam them to the home page. So in this particular opportunity, would you agree with me that the person interested in applying for the job would not be ever able to do it from his mobile device? Correct? I mean, take a look. That's the screen that was there. Now, unless there's a link at the bottom of the mobile site that says go to full site, he would not be able to do it, and he would have to probably manually paste in the page. So this brings up this adaptive example. So if you would do this, of course, we have a Bountiful on in the class. We'll look at theirs too. But go to addafordcars.com. If you all have that capability, if you have a smartphone or a tablet in front of you, here's what it looks like. So on my desktop, and we'll go there in 1 second. As I shrink my screen or the browser, it self-adapts. So it's always one site, and every page is mapped. So let's just go there right now. I'm going to go to the web. I'm going to go to addafordcars.com, and I'm hoping we're all in agreement that everyone can see my screen. And what I'm doing is I just cleaned up the borders a little bit, made it. So can we all we can all see this Dominion site properly on my screen? Yes, no, yes, we're all happy. Okay, got it. Now watch what happens. I'm just going to take the browser window and start to shrink it. Watch what happens now. Okay, bang. There's the next kind of iteration. And you'll notice that it is adapting to the window size. That's really cool. Now, what that means is that you have one website, every page is there, and the technology decides, okay, for example, at this size, the video is shown, okay, and this text. As it gets lower, okay, the video gets pushed down. There's the text. Pretty cool. Okay. Okay. And the toll-free number, I see a toll-free number here down at the bottom. So what do you think about that? Kind of a cool idea, right? So James Claus says, I want one. Okay, sweet, right? So let's go to another one of our studio audience here. I forget which, let's see what we had here. What the URL was. Oh, Bountiful Mazda. Okay. Let me go to Bountiful Mazda. See if we get the same look and feel, same issue. Let's see if they're on this responsive design. Okay, so I maximize my screen a little bit. Let's just check the bottom. Okay, let's shrink this puppy down. Okay, so you are not on the responsive platform, but here's a perfect opportunity, Nicole, to ask them, for an upgrade to the adaptive website. Nicole, is that a good idea? Yeah, Nicole says, yeah. So here's the benefit of today. So the adaptive. So if you're already on a Dominion platform, having this ability to go adaptive means that your links from social media and your links from email blasts and and ladies and gentlemen, think about this. How about CRM emails, right? Somebody submits a lead, you respond during the day. What percentage of those people do you think respond to a lead or read their email on their mobile device? I mean, what percentage of your emails do you read on a mobile device? Have you thought about that? So, if that's the case, could you understand why adaptive, responsive mobile sites are so important? Because a lot of times when someone submits a lead, and James, tell me if this is true for you. If somebody submits a lead, let's just say for a Ford Focus, in your email, you may link to the Ford Focus product page. You may link to the listing of new models. And if that's in the email, would you agree, James, that your customers are going to think, wow, what a schlocky organization. They send me an email that says, here's some more information, and I can't find it. So this is why these adaptive websites or fully mapped websites for mobile are so important. It impacts your CRM. Um, uh, it impacts your social strategy, your social sharing strategy. And James said, very good, James. I have to reevaluate my lead process. Yeah, James, if 30, 40, 50% of your customers are opening emails from your CRM from a mobile device, and those emails contain links that effectively frustrate them, is that really what we want to do? Now, I'm going to tell you, I saw some killer things in the last few weeks from a number of vendors. That's why coming out to Florida in February, and I'll talk about that in a few minutes, I think you'll be able to see that the marketplace is responding. I've written about it a number of times, and uh, you're going to see some killer jumps at NADA this year. So James says, all my links in my emails from the CRM system are for desktop, so I'm frustrating shoppers. Yes, James, and you will now spend an eternity in automotive hell. Basically, every one of those emails that you sent that had a broken link um, actually is like an extra 6 months in purgatory. And once you hit 50 or 100 broken links, I think that's an extension in hell. So um, I'm glad you're honest with us. I'm just going to have to pray for your customer frustrating soul. So are we all clear? Just like the golf course, right? Very frustrating. So we're all clear now between the difference, the problems with having two mobile sites. The solution has to be an adaptive responsive site or a fully mapped site. And you're going to see some more companies come out with either fully mapped or responsive adaptive in February. And of course, you need to be plugged in with your current vendor what they're going to do. We all clear? Just give me a yes or no. Any questions on platform issues? Platform issues. So that means, by the way, someone brought up mobile landing pages. In these new platforms that you'll see, when you create a page, if it's a map site, if you create a page on your desktop, it will create the same page on the mobile. And this is what I mean. If you are bountifulmazda.com and it's like slash specials slash February specials, okay, dot HTML. And your mobile site is m.bountifulmazda. The great news is that the page mapping, the URL structure will be exactly the same in some of these new one-on-one sites. If it's an adaptive site, you don't have to worry about anything. But when people talk about landing pages for mobile, and so that you can send mobile people to a great conversion experience, if you have these map sites that give you publishing capabilities on all tablets and mobile and desktop, I mean, that's going to be huge in 2013. The clients that we're working on with that type of stuff is just crazy. So let's talk about your mobile advertising now. Very important. Can you all take out your smartphones and would you do like this? Whatever whatever your brand is, okay, and tell me what your brands are. Just pick one brand if you're part of a multi-store, and type in one of the models that you sell in 2013. So if you're a Mazda dealer like Nicole J, put a Mazda, and pick CX-5 2013. Question is Chad's for CJD. So let's just do Jeep Wrangler 2003. You get the idea. And tell me if your dealership appears in the first two paid shaded yellow. Hopefully you see that yellow. James Klaus, great. So Ford F-150 2013 or 2013 Ford F-150. Now, would you answer the question whether your dealership is showing up? Jason says no. Let's keep a tab. Who else? I have same as what you got. Okay. James Klaus says, nope, he's not there. So we're 0 for 2 right now. 0 for 2. Let's keep on going. Everyone, I want to hear from everyone. Chad, 0 for 3. Michael, 0 for 4. Okay, we're come on, bring them up. Give me one or two more people who want to be bold. Okay, we don't want any more bold people. Nicole J, no. You get the idea. Let's do one more here. Service. Can you type in your brand? So Jeep service, Chevrolet service, Ford service. Would you let me know if you're showing up in the first two shaded yellow paid search for your brand and service? Your phone obviously is near your dealership. That's the key. All right, give me some. No, Nicole J says nope. She's not showing up for service. Michael, yes, Michael Wheeler's bang. He's our first yes. So we have a limping mobile strategy. James said nope. Okay, and let's do kind of one more. Let's do your dealers. So Ford dealers, Jeep dealers, Dodge dealers, Mazda dealers. Are you showing up in the yellow paid area for that? Okay. Michael says yes. Michael, by the way, would you do me a favor and tell me who's managing your paid search campaign, if you would, and what brand you are selling specifically? So that would be helpful. And oh, damn, Michael, that sounds so self promotional. We are managing. Oh, that a little embarrassing. I didn't know that. James says yes. James, who's managing your paid search? And what brand, James? What brand and who's managing your paid search? Okay. AdMart Online and Ford. Okay, so AdSmart. Okay. So here's what we found out. Can we agree, yes or no, that we are not spending enough money at your store on mobile paid search if 0 out of 3 or only 1 out of 3, and remember, these are just few, we're not showing up. And remember, the great thing about mobile advertising, we'll see this in a minute, the quality of leads that come from a mobile paid search campaign are significantly better than a desktop. Does somebody want to take a stab at why I feel that a lead from a mobile AdWords strategy is stronger than a desktop? Anybody want to take a stab at that? Chad says already on the road looking. Well, they could be on the road, right? They could still just be on their phone, in the office. That my son does just about everything on his mobile device. From buying things, equipment, songs, music. So I'm going to show you why. The other thing to keep in mind: did anyone, when they saw their ad, see the click to call? The click to call is a really important feature. And here's the bottom line: lead forms are on the decline. Phone calls are increasing. So could you, does anybody here work in the internet department, meaning handling leads? Anybody working on leads? The reason why I ask that is because, you know, so James says, I help with the James, would you rather have the phone ring or somebody submit a form on your website? James's phone, of course, right? Because the people who submit leads, man, you can be chasing their people around, um, uh, the key thing here is that mobile campaigns, generate calls. Right. Emails sell a call, calls sell appointment, appointments sell cars. Yeah. So can we understand that if we have a digital strategy that really increases as a percentage the leads coming in as phone calls, that's a better investment? Let me say that again. If mobile campaigns primarily create phone calls and those phone calls are at an inexpensive level, then we should be balls to the walls, 100% pushing our mobile campaigns. Yet, most dealers don't understand a direct mobile strategy. They don't understand a device strategy. And what they're doing is paying for more expensive leads when they could be getting more effective calls. You say, Brian, give me an example. Here's a Honda dealer mobile campaign. Look at this great campaign. Their ads showed 5,000 times, 144 people clicked, 45 people called. All of them were phone calls. It was a buck 10 cost per click, $3.58 to get the phone to ring. Anybody want more of that? If you had mobile paid search campaigns running for new cars, used cars, service, finance, credit, buy here, pay here. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you that I would say 100% of the car dealers I walk into consulting on better strategy for their dealership underfund their mobile campaign. And it yet is one of the best ways to be in front of the consumer right when they're making a decision. So the click to call can show in a couple different ways. Okay, so there it is. It's underlined. It dials right out through the person's phone. You can use AdWords, can provide phone numbers. I think they charge you $1 a call. You can have your own tracking phone numbers as well. Also, mobile ads can also show location and map. So if you want to include your location extension on your mobile ads, that's really popular as well. And then here's a new thing that Google's offering is ads based on a distance from the dealership. Can you think about this? Would you agree to me if someone's looking for four dealers and they are 3 miles away, you may want to incent them to come. If somebody was 10 miles away or 15 miles away, you may want to increase the incentive because they have to drive past other Ford dealers. Do you understand what I'm saying? Is that if someone's on their mobile device, and you'll see it in a minute, where Google's going to list dealers in, say, a 30 or 40-mile radius, and if you're a Ford dealer, you know there's a lot of Ford dealers nearby, wouldn't you want to be doing some type of location-based incentives to make the people that are most likely to drive by a competitor come by your dealership first? Yes or no? What do you think? Does it make sense to you? We got some yeses coming through. Okay. Um, and so you would want your dealership to pop up. The other thing is offers. This is an example of Midas. This is a conversation to have with your service department. There's no reason why you couldn't be buying on the mobile device brakes, tires, batteries, oil change. Ladies and gentlemen, would you agree with me that fixed ops is one of the most profitable areas of the business? So if you could advertise very inexpensively and add an offer button, and it could be 1995 oil change, be competitive with the third parties that you want to be in that game. I think you should be in that game. That's my point. So if someone's looking for a Midas shop, I want my ad to come up. If someone's looking for Ford brakes or Ford oil change or Ford batteries or just truck batteries, can you understand being there in mobile paid search with an offer could get that service lane really pumping with traffic. I'm going to switch now to mobile apps. Can everyone hear me okay? Can everyone hear me okay, Chad? Okay, Chad must, we just may, sometimes the internet burps a little bit. Any questions on the digital ad strategy? Just give me a yes or no. Are you okay? You got it? Need to really maximize it? Uh, James says he has more questions than we have time for. James, you could always give me a call, shoot me an email. I'd be more than happy to collaborate with you on that. And that's be awesome. So let's talk about mobile apps. The custom mobile apps. Does anybody at the dealership here, is on the line, have a custom mobile app? Anyone have a custom mobile app? James says no. Anybody have a custom mobile app? One of the problems with custom mobile apps is that how do you get your customers to keep it on their phone? Would you agree with me that you maybe get them to load it on their phone during delivery, but we've all deleted apps, or at least I'm thinking that you've deleted apps before. So the benefits would be you would be able to push alerts out, push notifications to your customers, a recall or stuff. But once someone buys a car, other than service, how front of mind is your dealership? I mean, I drive an Infiniti, and I don't think of my dealership for anything other than when my service light goes on. So one of the problems is we have to be more relevant to a consumer if they're going to keep an app on their desktop. Has anybody deleted an app off their phone that they haven't used in a while? Just say, hey, I don't use this thing much. Has anybody done that? Yeah. Okay. So we all have. So that's the problem. That's why this idea of a responsive website kind of gets away from needing this app unless you're going to have incentives, coupons, some of the other things people are doing. Now, one of the ways that people are getting app promotion is through a reward system and some extra benefit other than service. And this is why I use one of the examples of Easy Referral Network. Um, Here's an example. If you're in a state that allows bird dogs, now bird dogs is giving a referral commission. Some states you're not allowed to do that. Is anybody in a state where you can give a customer a cash? Okay, so Nicole, is that a yes? Nicole, you can give bird dogs to people? James says we did tons of bird dogs. Nicole says, yeah. So you should check out Easy Referral Network. Great idea, great app. It was designed by Paul Sansone Jr. He is a dealer here in New Jersey. His family has been in the dealership business for a very long time. And when you deliver the car, you load this app up on the customer's phone and you say, listen, anytime, any of your friends, you're in a bar or party, if anybody's saying they're looking for a car, just tap on the app and get their name and address and hit submit. And I'll get that lead. And if they buy a car, as soon as it transacts in the DMS, I'm going to I'm going to ship you a Citibank prepaid Visa card with $200. And every time after that, somebody purchases a car through your referral, through the app, it automatically loads 24 hours later an extra $200 on your card. So here's an interesting way where your customers can get an app where they can get paid for referrals instead of looking for your business card or emailing you or trying to figure out what your email is. This little app become cash register. Some churches and charities and nonprofits are using this so that the money can go to the nonprofit. So a church could say, hey, all your members load up Bountiful Mazda's easy referral app. Uh, Go out. Anybody needs a car, it will help pay for our new building fund or whatever. And you can set whatever the referral bird dog is. But this is a cool way to keep consumers, kind of engaged with your brand. Good idea, bad idea. What's your feedback on Easy Referral Network? And I don't own any of the Easy Referral Network. Nicole Johnson says she loves it. Yeah, and the results are pretty darn amazing, and it creates a social connection with a dealership, and of course, a way for dealers to communicate back to their customers. This is a non-traditional dealer app, but wow, this is a top-of-mind dealer app that would stay on the phone. I want to switch now to location-based marketing, Foursquare. So, have you all looked at your dealership and what you look like on Foursquare? Have you provided tips? What are people saying about you on Foursquare? Are you doing any promotional offers? I just want to let you know that Foursquare is still very popular, and I can check in at Macy's sometimes, and it will give me a 15% off coupon. I mean, you can go into Macy's and spend $200 on clothes. There's $30, boom, for free that you weren't even planning on getting. When I check into Amy's Omelet House, 10% off your bill. More and more people are realizing that location-based media can save them money. Where dealers have a problem, hey, Brian, if they're already in my dealership, why would I give them an incentive for anything? I'm ready to sign the deal. I don't want to give them another $100, $200 off. Understood. There's other ways in which you can create some incentives. It could be a service, it could be whatever you want, but the idea is, remember, Foursquare is a tool that people use to see where their friends are and what they're doing, and you need to check out how you can leverage location-based media. The mother load of all location-based media is Google Plus. So let me ask you a question. Google Plus, local, the business listings, love it or hate it? Love it or hate it? Google Plus local, love it or hate it? Give me your, James says hate. Google Plus local, love it, hate it? Nicole Johnson, hate. Love or hate it? Google Plus local, love it or hate it? So it's obviously there's a love-hate relationship. If you have great reviews, it's seen by thousands of consumers every month. I just want you to understand that in a mobile world, that local button, that app is used thousands of times a month in your local area, whether it's desktop and mobile, and how you appear on that. You'll see I just typed in Toyota dealers and it listed. Obviously, Toyota World of Lakeland is probably not on too many people's choice list. It has no reviews, but here's Galaxy Scion and DCH Honda, all within 1 mile. DCHK Honda has better reviews. So we can't say we've covered mobile unless you understand how visible Google Plus Local is. And then Yelp. And this is a new thing that I honestly, I just saw today for the first time. I typed in Honda dealer on the Yelp app, and there's the list of dealers. And now there's advertising like Google AdWords style. Very interesting to get some dealers who want to try that. This is new to me, so I have to research. I'm sure it can't be that costly. But let me ask you a question. If a consumer was coming on to Yelp to see where they should buy, can you see that you have DCHK and Coast Honda? One's 1 mile away, one's 9 miles away. Is there any reason to go to Coast Honda? Based on Yelp, right? They only have one review. It was 3 stars. 6 people reviewed DCHK. It's closer. Normally, the stars win. So, this is why I want to encourage you that Yelp and Google Plus Local has to be a top of mind visibility strategy for dealers. And now, those of you who really believe in mobile have an opportunity to make your dealership stand out. And I'm going to give you an example. If I was a Wall Honda 34 with 0 reviews, I might suggest advertising on Yelp because they have no reputation management process in place. Put an ad at the top. Maybe you get people that were willing to click on that ad, but especially dealers who have been having a hard time getting reviews on Yelp, maybe advertising on Yelp could be a solution. As we kind of wrap up on mobile, I wanted to give everyone who's in class today a special bonus, basically giving you half off the industry's finest February conference, the Digital Marketing Strategies Conference. We got some really, really cool speakers lined up this year. I'm going to be doing 3 analytics workshops. We're going to be doing a joint study with AutoTrader revealing how much of dealers' traffic is actually generated by AutoTrader, but Google Analytics won't show that. 38 workshops, all your meals included, breakfast and lunch meeting, and receptions at night. I would like to encourage you to ask your dealer principal, your general manager, to come out to DMSC. Come out for the workshops. Let me handpick workshops for you. Get to meet myself and our team. But this is, it's the beginning of the year. Get your strategies set for 2013. I couldn't encourage you more. Airfare to Florida is pretty damn cheap. And, you're going to hear directly from Peter Leder at Google and Patrick Workman for Facebook. Facebook's doing some really cool things. Most of you all use AutoTrader. Wait till you see this study that we did. The best in paid search and mobile and, social, SEO, everyone's there. This is the place for you to be. And if you call Kerry, you can get that special rate. That is the lowest price anyone is paying for the show. It is a special $4.95 rate. That's good until January 15th. I wouldn't want you to miss this world-class event. And of course, we could spend some time together. So now it's to you. We've covered mobile strategy, mobile advertising, mobile architecture, apps versus websites. We've talked about dealer landing pages, and one thing, QR codes. Bottom line, I'm not a QR code user, but there is no reason why when you're printing up ads, when you're printing up window stickers, when you're printing up business cards, that QR codes aren't used. It give people the choice, meaning I'm not a chatter, but chat is a fantastic source to communicate with customers. So don't let your own prejudice, whether you use QR codes or not, whether you're a chatter or not, if there's a communication channel that can drive traffic easily to your website, especially when people are offline, meaning at a mall looking at a car, in the newspaper, in a magazine, on a wall poster, whatever, why not use QR codes? It doesn't cost you anything to generate them. So with that in mind, how about any questions? Anything on mobile? Of course, the session is recorded, and you can play this for another member of your team if they missed it. Any questions to wrap up today's session on mobile technology, strategies, and apps? Okay, well, it looks like I've answered all your questions. Wow. Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate today's educational information on mobile? On a scale of 1 to 10, honestly, need your feedback. The only way I'm going to get better. There's a 10, there's a 9. Come on, give it to me. Give it to me. Always want to improve and be better. There's a 10, very nice. Thank you. Thank you. Um, so I do appreciate your feedback. It just helps me continually improve my value. If you have any questions, I know James, you said you had to come other things. Just email me. Remember, it's Brian at PCG Mailer. Please connect with me on LinkedIn. Be more than happy to share any strategy information. If you're not a member of InternetSalesManager.org, great site for articles and strategy. And you can also meet all the authors in the Unfair Advantage book on unfairadvantagebooks.com. Thanks for your time today. I hope to see you at DMSC. Give Carrie a call for that limited time offer up till January 15th. Thank you so much for being part of the Automotive Internet program sponsored by First Class Educators. Have a great day.